with Markus, cooking with Markus, cooking with Markus, yeah. Cooking with Markus, cooking with Markus, cooking with Markus, yeah. Hello, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Markus. This week we're going to make fajitas, and it's a nice, simple, easy recipe, but you can also get creative with it and add and take away things. You just have your base and then you kind of do whatever you want. So let's get started. So these are all the things you're going to need, not the wine and those fruits, but these things here. So you'll start off, we're going to put some oil in, we're going to add some garlic, probably less garlic, more garlic if you want, depends on what you like. Then we'll put in the onions, get them going. I have like 3 onions here. I'm just using up what I have, but ideally 2 large onions would be perfect. 1 or 2 peppers. You can use any color, any mixture you'd like. I like to put tomato in as well to give it a little bit more of a juicy tomatoey flavor. And then of course your fajita spice, and then it'll go in the wraps, yogurt on top, and then you got your wrap and you wrap it up, and I'll show you how to do that. These are extras here. I'm going to put olives in mine because I love olives. I'm an olive maniac. And kidney beans, I'll probably put some of these in because this can is a little dented. So I'm just going to use up, again, things. Usually I'll tend to put corn mince or corn pieces in as well. I might put some of those in this time. I might not because I'm using the beans. Up to you. And that's it, I think. So let's get started. So getting started, we'll do a little prep. We're going to chop the garlics. I'm just going to unwrap them. And we're just going to chop up the garlic, just like so. I like to chop it nice and small, and I like lots of it. But depends on your taste. Okay, once that garlic's chopped up, you can turn on your fire for your pan. You just keep it on low heat, and gonna put some oil in here. You can put in maybe a tablespoon, I would say. Then we're going to add the garlic that we just chopped, and we're going to let that garlic simmer in the oil for a little bit while we chop up our onions and peppers and other bits. So that way we're just doing it all on the go. So now I'm going to do the onions. I just like to chop off the top and bottom. Take off a little outside here. And do that with all the onions. I do the same with the onions. I like to chop them into smaller pieces, small-ish pieces. More kind of like wedges, probably not as small as I would put in a pasta sauce or something, but kind of more like I would put into a stir fry probably. So I cut them sideways, I cut them in half, and then I cut them sideways. Ingredients so that I can make a large amount so that I can eat it throughout the week. I get quite emotional from the onions. They make me cry. And then you put them inside the sauce. So I'm just adding the onions to the garlic in the pan. And it's still on low heat. And let them simmer, chill. I'm going to toss it around a bit. Just going to swish it around in the pan, get it all mixed up. Give it a few tosses. And just let it chill. And then I'm also going to put this pan over top to give it a little hand. I might put some water in as well. But now we're going to do the peppers. Okay, so I've rinsed off my pepper and I've rinsed off my tomato as well. I'm going to do them together, and I'm going to just pluck out the heart. And then I'll chop the pepper into slices. Like so. Take this little piece off. Looks a little bad. And then could leave them like this, but I'm going to chop them in half just to make them a little bit smaller. Like that, like that. Yeah. And then we'll put them in with the onions and the garlic. Here we go. Peppers in. This is your base fajita mix. Anything else you put into it, you don't have to, but something to really kind of bulk it up with, like beans or corn or something, really helps. And any other veg you'd like. Just keep in mind that eventually once you add too many things, then it can be too much. So moving on. So then we chop our tomato, adding this one to our mix. Some juiciness. Give it a toss again. Of course you can use a spoon and stir it as well, which is totally cool. And then I'm going to pop the top back on here again and let it keep going on low heat. I might turn it up just a tad. So next I'm going to add in some mince, and then I'm going to give it a toss just to mix that in there. And pop the lid of the pan back off. For the beans, I'm going to open them. I'm going to strain them through this tiny colander, and then I'm just going to give them a rinse. And then they are ready to go. I'll take this off and let these guys in. Same thing again. We're going to toss them in. Now we're ready to put in our fajita spice, or make the fajita spice while these simmer for a little bit. Pop the lid back on, and let's go check that out. So next we've got the fajita spice. What we're going to do, this is something I've made already before. This is just what I do. You could make it, prep it before you do the fajitas. You could prep it in advance, way advanced like I do, and just leave it in a jar in the cupboard. But I'm going to make a little bit extra now, just to show you what it is. Recipe. In the description below for everything, but recipe specifically for this, I wrote down here. I use tablespoons just so that I make quite a bit, but it's totally up to you. You could change all this to teaspoons, and quarter teaspoons and a half teaspoon. Chili powder, I either don't tend to put it in, or I don't put as much in, depending on how spicy I'm feeling. So we'll just go with that. So start off, we got paprika. We do 1 tablespoon. I have little measuring spoons here. You can use these, or however you want to do it. Always good to do it over in case a little extra goes in, and that's it. So there's my 1 tablespoon that goes in. A tablespoon of garlic powder. These are garlic granules. Use that sometimes. I actually, because of all the garlic that I put in it, the real garlic, I'll use onion powder instead, but I have lots of onions in there as well. So these are kind of interchangeable. I'll just do one or the other, or sometimes I'll do a bit of both. I think today I'm going to do a little bit of both. So half onion powder and half the garlic granules. I do 1 tablespoon of cumin. I do 1 tablespoon of dried oregano or oregano. Done. And then we're going to do a 1/4 tablespoon of pepper, and then we're going to do a tablespoon of sea salt. There we go. I'm going to shake it up in the jar. Just pop your lid on, give it a shake, and you're ready to go. This is simmering good. I'm going to toss it up. Not sticking too bad. Just make sure you keep it moving. That's good. I'm going to add this. Again, the fajita spice, totally up to you. I'd probably do, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 tablespoons for this much, as I'm doing. Something like that. And then again, I'm gonna toss it. I'll probably stir it with a spoon. I won't add the olives till the end because again, I love them and they retain more of their taste if I put them in last. So that's your fajita spice. And when I chop them, I'm just gonna literally chop them in half. Boom. Any that can't be chopped in half because they're broken or something, and I just eat them. So now we're putting the olives in. And we're ready to preheat the oven. So we're gonna preheat this bad boy. We're gonna go to convection, so we're getting it from both sides. We're turning it up to 200, and then we're just gonna let that warm up and heat up, so that we're getting it ready to put the wraps in, just to warm them up, not to cook them, before this stuff is done up here. We'll cover this up again, let it do its thing for a bit. So I'm just putting the wrap right onto the rack in the middle of the oven. We're going to leave it in for 10-20 seconds, let it get warm, and then we're going to put it on a plate, add some of our wonderful fajita mix, and then we're going to put some yogurt on top, wrap it up, and then we're ready to eat. So I've cleaned up my workspace. Now I'm going to do the plating. So we're going to pull the wrap out of the oven. Should be nice and toasty, yeah, but not hard. You don't want it hard or crispy. You just want it soft. Then we're going to add some fajita mix right there, kind of along the middle. And then we're going to add some yogurt, which again, you don't have to use yogurt. You could eat it completely without the yogurt. You could use any other sauce, barbecue sauce, mayo. You could put some cheese in it if you wanted to. You can use anything. The yogurt, I find, really makes it taste amazing. Also, if you use a lot of chili and you make it really spicy, it'll cut that spice a little bit for you. There you go. So, just on the inside. Then, to fold this up, it's a technique that I learned a long time ago. You fold in the sides, just like that, and you're going to use your thumbs, hold it down with your fingers. You can use your thumbs to roll it forward, and you're going to get it into that kind of shape, like a little clam or something. And then you're going to use your fingers again, and you're going to tuck it in nice and tight, and then roll it, and then you have wrap just like this, closed on both ends, and then you're ready to eat. This gives you a bit of a different view on it. So you fold the sides in, keep them down, fold it over, and then tuck it under. Might get a little messy with the yogurt, and then roll it up, and there you go. Now the best moment arrives. Once you finish cooking, you always get to eat what you made or share it with other people. Coffee's got one. Yeah, it's time to eat. Let's see how it went. Always a classic. Remember, you can do whatever you want with this recipe. It just has a base recipe, and then you just add on, take away whatever you want. Okay? Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it helps out. Gives you something easy and quick to make. And see you again next time. Cook with Markus.
Cooking with Markus, cooking with Markus, cooking with Markus, yeah.